All right, hello and happy Friday. As you know, Fridays are more of a relaxing and recovery yoga routine for us. So let's go ahead and find a space on the mat. Make sure you have some water nearby and start with your feet nice and wide. I'm going to roll up my sleeves here just a little bit because it is warm in this room. But yeah, so just start to ground your feet into the floor. Feel your shoulders relax and just breathe. So let your hips settle in as you breathe, keeping your knees soft. Neck is long, jaw is relaxed. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale just the right arm up. And then exhale, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling as the left arm slides down your thigh. We're just going to hold it here. You can take your gaze up to the ceiling if it feels good. And on that last exhalation, try to take it just a little bit further before you come up and release. We'll switch sides. So inhale, left arm up. And then exhale, reach towards the ceiling as the opposite fingers slide down towards your foot. And breathing here. And relax. Roll the shoulders back. Now breathe both arms up. And then exhale, open up your stance a little bit more because you're going to come down into a little squat. Nothing too big or exaggerated. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come behind you. Interlock the fingers. And then open up the chest here. And hold it. Breathing. And let's do that again. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Come into a little squat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arms come back behind you. Interlock the fingers. Press them down and away, opening the chest. And release. Inhale, arms up. Press the palms together. Squeeze the abs as you come into a squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands back behind you. Open the chest. And again, breathing in, arms overhead. Exhale, Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands behind you. And one more time. Inhale, reach up. Palms together. Exhale, squat. Hands to heart center, squeezing the legs, squeezing the core. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, interlock the hands behind you. Reach down. Take your gaze up. And then inhale, arms overhead. And just stay here. Relax. We're going to go into warrior two. So go ahead and pick a side. And just hold it here. Again, just sitting into our warrior pose. Breathing into it. Now just to add a little movement and to continue to warm up the hips and the knees, we're going to inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the palms together. Exhale, press it out. So inhale, center. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, center. Exhale, press it out. The shoulders stay relaxed. Building strength in that front leg. Now stay here. Go ahead and come into a slow reverse warrior and then come into side angle and just hold side angle here. Now notice I have a yoga block. So to start to deepen side angle, right? Because we're on week 5 now. So in order, you can stay here in side angle. But in order to challenge ourselves a little more, if you have a yoga block, you can take the block, set it right in front of the foot, and then place your hand on the block. And that'll start to increase the stretch. Work on your flexibility as you come a little lower into the pose. So breathe here. And then when you're ready, take that top arm, swing it all the way around and through. Straighten that front leg. And we are in side triangle. So this one's a little more challenging, but we're just gonna hold it for a few breaths. So really plant your feet firmly into the floor. Legs are strong here. Core is engaged. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now gently bend the knee. Go ahead and lift. Bring that yoga block with you and relax here. So set the yoga block on the other side if you have one. Now we're going to inhale, arms up, press the palms together. Exhale, come into a small squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come back behind you. Interlock the fingers, open the chest. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open the chest. You can take your gaze up. And one more time. Inhale, lift, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center, squat. Inhale, lift. And again, reach those hands back behind you. And then gently come back up. Hands to heart center and go into warrior two on the other side. So again, nothing too extravagant here. You don't have to sink deep into that warrior two. I mean, you can if you want to. But again, it's Friday. So let's go ahead and just kind of relax. Building a little heat and strength in this front thigh. Let's add some breath and movement. So inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, straighten the leg, bring the hands to our center. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press it out. Slow and controlled with the breath. Slow and controlled with the movement. Not rushing anything. And one more time. Staying here, go ahead and bring that arm up into reverse warrior and then come into your side angle. Now if you don't have a block, you can stay here. This is completely fine. Open up the chest. Feel the length along the top side of the body. If you do have a block, challenging yourself, you can bring the block to the inside of the foot, place your hand on that block, and just go a little deeper into your side angle. And if you have to scoot that back leg further away from you, that's fine. So again, just breathing here, holding the pose, building heat in the body. Hopefully the weather is beautiful where you're at. Now let's go ahead and bring that arm down and around, swing it all the way through, and then straighten that front leg. And we are in side triangle. So in side triangle, I like to imagine that you're stuck in between like two planes of glass. So you want everything to be lined up, right? The shoulders are lined up with one another. The hips, trying as best as you can to stack the hips on top of one another. So again, you don't want to lean forward and you don't want to hyperextend by leaning too far back. Breathing in here and breathing out. Then go ahead and bend that knee. Bring the yoga block with you and come back to center. Great job. Place that block right in front of you. We're going to inhale, arms up. This time on the exhalation, try to come into your squat a little deeper so you can bring your hands to your thighs. And then inhale up. We're just going to do the squat. Or you can bring the hands to the block. Inhale up. Or you can bring your fingertips to the floor. Inhale up. Let's do a couple more. And last one. Come all the way up. And then bring the hands down. You can place them on the floor or the block. Pivot the toes so that they're facing forward. And then just kind of sit in a flat back here. So try to straighten out your spine. Keep the knees slightly bent, breathing. And then on the exhale, start to bring that chest down. Let the head and neck go. And just sit here in this forward fold. Creating space in between your vertebrae. Lengthening the spine. Releasing compression. When you're ready, go ahead and come into your flat back. Take your right foot and then just kind of cross it behind the left. And notice how we're sitting in like a cross-legged pose here. So your knees are kind of stacked on top of one another. If you can't get your knees this close, that's fine. You can bring that foot out in front of you like this. So whatever feels good for you. Oh, perfect timing. You know, so just find that comfortable spot. Make sure that your hips are placed evenly on the mat. So it's very important that you take notice of that and you're not shifting all your weight over to one side. And we're just going to sit here, breathing. So feeling a little stretch in that outside hip, okay? And if you can, bring both of your feet to the floor, that's fine. Take a big breath in here, wherever you're at. And then on the exhalation, you can place your hands on the floor or on your feet or your ankles. Start to lean forward just slightly. And then lift. We're going to bring, so if the right leg is on top or in front, you're going to bring the left arm up and then reach over and hold it here. So breathing, really lengthening through the torso. You might feel that stretch all the way down into your hip and your outer thigh. Again, just moving a little slower today. Holding the poses just a little longer. Gently come up. Keep your legs where they're at. Now that same arm is going to cross over the thigh, and you're going to give yourself a little seated spinal twist here. So take your gaze to the back shoulder or the back wall. Sit up nice and tall. Again, breathing into the rotation. And then when you're ready, come back to center. One more stretch here. So again, keeping the legs where they're at. If that right leg is on top or in front, now I want the left arm to come underneath the right, and you're going to try to bring the palms together. You can bring the top of the hands together, or you can really give yourself that stretch in the back of the shoulders. And lift the elbows up. And then exhale, try to bring those elbows to the knees. You can round those shoulders back away from you. Relax the head, relax the neck. And then sit up nice and tall, uncross, and relax. Now go ahead and extend the legs out in front of you. You can shake them out. Kind of wiggle the toes. Spread the toes out nice and wide so we're stretching through the bottom of the feet. And then shake and release. Let's do that one more time. So stretch those toes as far apart as you can. And shake and release. And one more time. Spread the toes, really stretch all those muscles in the bottom of the feet. You can lift the heels up off the floor and then shake and release. All right, so we're gonna repeat that sequence on the other side. So if the right leg was on top last time, now the right leg is gonna go on the bottom. And you're either gonna bring the left foot to the front or you're gonna bring it to the top. And if you notice that you tend to be a little more flexible on one side of the body than the other, that is normal, that is perfectly okay. We do tend to be dominant on either the right or the left side. And that's one of the beautiful things about yoga, right? Is that it helps us to notice our our dominance in certain parts of the body, and then it brings that awareness to us so we can work on lengthening and stretching and paying attention to parts of the body that are just a little tighter or more compressed. So again, you can take your hands, just place them on the floor, or you can place them on the feet. We're just going to sit here for just a little bit. If your hips are tight, this is going to feel really good. Or maybe not, depending on how you look at it, right? So if you have a yoga block, here's another option. We're going to start to lean over to the side. So you can bring your hand to the yoga block as you bring the opposite arm up and over. So this is also an option. Just make sure that you're really pressing both of those hips firmly into the floor. So we don't want that hip to lift up off the mat. And like I said, there's going to be days where you're like, yeah, I need the extra help. I need the block. And then there's going to be days where you're like, I don't need it, you know? And again, that's okay. It's part of the ebbs and flows of life. So keeping both hips pressed into the mat. Stretching all along the side of the body. Like I said, you might feel that stretch in the bottom hip going all the way through the IT band, the thigh. Breathing. Sometimes these stretches feel so good, I don't want to come out of them. But we have to, because we have to move on. Come on up. Relax. Take that same arm, lift it up, and this time cross it. So you're going to bring it over to the top of that thigh, and then use it as leverage as you look back behind your shoulder. Giving yourself a good spinal rotation here. And again, making sure that you're breathing deeply into this pose. When you're ready, come back to center. Go ahead and sit here, hands either on the feet or the floor. We're going to do one more stretch in this pose. So the left leg is on top or in front. You're going to bring your arms up. Right arm goes underneath and through. You can bring the top of the hands together or bring the palms together. Sit here for just a few seconds. And then slowly start to lift your elbows up, getting a really good stretch in the back of the shoulders, along the whole upper back of the body. Grounding your hips into the mat. Take an inhale here. And then on the exhalation, try to come forward, bringing the elbows to lightly touch the knees. And then gently come back up, untwist the arms, uncross the legs, extend them out in front of you. You can shake them out. Again, just kind of stretch through the toes. Oh my goodness. And time just keeps on going. So go ahead and center yourself. So bring the soles of the feet together. And again, just to kind of open up the hips. Sit up nice and tall. Try to press those knees into the ground as much as you can. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Lean forward just enough to feel that deepening stretch in your hips, not in your lower back. So we want to try to keep that back lengthened and straight. And then when you're ready, sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and just sit comfortably here. And go ahead and let your hands just kind of rest on your thighs or your knees or the floor. And you can close your eyes if it feels good. Take one more big breath in through the nose. Filling the chest, filling the belly, and exhale through the mouth. Again, big breath in through the nose. feeling the air travel down your throat, into your diaphragm, and exhale through the mouth. And one more time, big breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Lift the head and neck to center. Inhale here. And then exhale, drop the ear over to the other shoulder. Big breath in. Big breath out. Go ahead and come back to center. Give yourself just a few more seconds here to enjoy being still. Paying attention to what it feels like to sit in your body. Feeling the weight of your hips on the mat. Feeling the light air enter through the nose, filling up the chest cavity, filling up the abdomen. Feeling the decompression as you exhale. And before we finish, I want you to visualize one thing that you are grateful for. It can be a person, it can be a job, it can be an accomplishment. I want you to visualize it, I want you to see it. And give a quick expression of gratitude for that one thing. I'm a big believer in that gratitude is the greatest multiplier of good. So focus your energy on all that you are grateful for. When you're ready, go ahead and gently open the eyes. You can kind of wiggle the fingers and the toes. All right, let's inhale, arms overhead. Gently press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bow forward, sealing the practice for today. Thank you for joining me, lovelies. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I will see you again next week. So again, if you've got questions, please reach out and we'll chat. All right. Bye.